Hey, 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 hey. Black excellence, black beauty, and black pride. Black power from all diasporas coincide. Progressive truth and regression eventually collide. May the beauty of the people no longer be set aside. May the black queen's grace continually mesmerize the millions who couldn't see it when looking into her eyes. And the black man's plight no longer be the disguise. Oppression, emasculation, they wanna castricize him. Take him away from the black queen, put him inside prison for slave labor, he institutionalized. Wondering on the outside, is she willing to ride? Is she willing to ride? Is she willing to fight for the love, even despite the fact that he doing time? Love that conquers all will never fade with time. If she don't choose the love that appreciates every life, his flame might get dim and he may eventually.
Hello, welcome. I'm Shekinah Young, and this is?
I am Rob Johnson.
And we are super excited. We are here at the Clash of the Clippers, and how do we say it right, Rob? I'll be tripping.
Clash of the
Battle of the
Clippers
Salons.
and Battle of the Salons,
Yes.
presented by
Big Rob.
Big Rob from Platinum Cuts.
Big Rob.
So we are live.
Yes, we are. Urban City Magazine.
All right. So thank you all for tuning in. We're super excited to be here.
Yes,
Thank you
we
all.
are.
If you have questions or anything, please interact with us. Please go ahead on, ask us questions. Let's go ahead on and go. So Shekinah, can you tell us why we're here today?
Absolutely. So, the Urban Impact Show, this is all about you. We want to engage with you. There's a lot going on in our community, and we have some true heroes walking around here every day that have paved the way for us to do new things and impact things in a greater way. And we're just here to share that information with you.
This show is designed for you and I to engage and for us to definitely make sure that we're bringing a highlight, not just to what's happening here right now, but to our community around the state. We're even going to have some national guests, aren't we?
We are going to have national guests. We're talking about community issues. We're talking about politics. We're embracing the culture. We are talking about people, everyday people in our community that are making huge impacts that are often overlooked.
The only way that this is going to be successful is if you start to share this right now.
Yep.
This is called the Urban Impact Show, which means we need everybody's help to make this successful. Press that share button right now so that this can start to go live and viral everywhere, all across Des Moines, all across Iowa, and even nationwide.
That's what's up. So, like we said, we are at the third annual Clash of the Clippers and Battles of the Salons, presented by Big Rob.
You know, I'm gonna need some edges.
You are, if you'd like, some edges.
They're gonna put me some. I lost my edges in the heat this summer.
You know, I've seen some Instagram videos with people who got some edges, who didn't have edges.
I lost my edges.
They can get you some edges.
I lost them.
It is a bunch of everybody up in here. They can get your edges, they can get your eyebrows, they get your wax, they get your dip, fried, dyed, and laid to the side. Beard game, if you want to be in the beard game, you're having some issues, we got some people to get you in the beard game.
Now, my beard isn't like some of these other guys in here. That's just because I like to feel my face.
Okay.
And so, because I like to feel my face,
right?
You know, our executive producer Hal Dixon, his beard is big too.
Pretty thick.
But I like to feel my face.
Okay.
You know, and he got dreads. I'm thinking about them putting some hair on my head.
Yes.
I want to be as long as yours.
Hey, you know, baddies in bundles. All right, they will work it out for you. But it is so much going on here, and it's a super cool time. You should definitely come down if you are local and you're around. You should definitely come down and check out the third annual Clash of the Barbers.
Clash of the Clippers, right here. We're right here at Perry Meadows. Clash of the Clippers, Battle of the Salons, presented by Big Rob and Platinum Signature. So we got a special guest getting ready to come up.
We do have a guest.
Yes, we do. We have a special guest getting ready to come up.
I am very excited for our guest.
Yeah. So our special guest is coming up. She goes by the name of Mo. She is one of the only female barbers that is at Platinum Signature, which is Big Rob's second barbershop here in this city, and it's out in West Des Moines. So she's going to come up right now, and she's going to give us some information, and we're just going to interview her about what's happening, her thoughts. Talk to her a little bit.
Come on, Mo.
And then we're going to go by that. So come on up, Mo. We're going to go ahead on and bring her on up. Mo, you come sit right here.
Welcome back. So we have Mo with us. First of all, let's talk about how fly Mo is today.
Oh.
Mo is super fly. Look at you with
Super
the bow
fly.
tie. I'm
Super
feeling the
fly.
puff. Yes,
Hey,
girl.
what artist is that wears the bow tie?
Janelle.
Janelle Monáe?
Yes.
Janelle Monáe? Awesome.
You fancy just like her today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. You look good, Mo.
Thank you.
So, Mo, you are out at you're out at Platinum in West Des Moines. What's the name of the shop specifically?
Platinum Signature.
Platinum Signature. And I believe you all are just targeting a broader clientele over there. Tell us a little bit about that shop. What are some of the offerings? And then your place there. How do you fit into that mix?
We offer a lot of services. We do facials, black mask, shaves, color, eyebrow waxing.
And I think that is super cool because as a woman, I have never enjoyed going into a barbershop. If I go into a barbershop, I'm going with a purpose. Ladies, if you feel me, let me know that I'm not the only one that feels like this. But you go into a barbershop and it's like, that's man land.
Now,
I
will say it is manland.
Yes.
But Big Rob and Mo have really broadened it up a little bit.
Exactly. I'm excited about that. And even the services that you all are offering now, that's more appealing and enticing to women to come in there. And so I might have to take a trip out there, especially because I know her flyness, Mo, is
Absolutely.
present at
Now, the
that
barbershop
location.
is out in West Des Moines, right?
Yes, correct.
What's the address?
In Governor Square, 2600 University Avenue.
2600
Suite
University.
204.
Man. So, give some landmarks around there. Is like what?
Across the street from TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx, Ohana's. Ohana's is across the street, and you're next door to like the eyeglass place.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's
so-
Shags
Shacks.
is next door to us.
Okay, so if you're looking for it, this is where you can go.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the industry. What makes you so passionate about cosmetology and hair and the art of barbering?
I was born for this.
I know that's
love hair. I have been doing hair since I was a kid. Yeah.
I'm like, is he telling me my hair's? He's rubbing his. Okay.
Yeah.
Your edges, you keeping them laid.
I'm keeping my edges laid.
Keep them laid, right?
Yeah.
We
Lay
do
'em down.
offer the man units as well.
The man units.
Look, talk about it because
Yes.
look, somebody gonna have to
do.
put some hair on my head.
Okay,
You know,
we
I've
can
been
do
looking.
that.
I've been looking for
We
some
can do
hair.
that.
I've been looking for
We
some
got
hair
you.
for a while.
Yeah.
Big Rob was supposed to put some hair on my head today.
Okay.
But I feel like he's
Yeah.
too busy now, and now I'm upset about it. I'm in my feelings.
Okay.
Back to you and how
come
you
back.
got
We'll-
into
we'll
it.
hook you up.
Let's talk about that, like your passion for hair. Where did that come from?
I don't know. It was just something that I did as a kid.
Yeah.
I started with my dolls, and next thing you know, I was in the garage cutting hair for the neighborhood.
not
Wait a minute. You started playing with the dolls.
Yes.
And so moms who are watching their sons or daughters who are kind of doing hair right now, that's probably something that they could cultivate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
think that's really cool.
So then you started cutting the neighbors' hair?
Yeah, the neighborhood.
Oh, did you,
Yes, that was
did you
my
grow up
hustle.
here?
When I was like 15, I was in the garage cutting hair.
You grew up here in Des Moines?
No, California.
Where at?
Southern Cal, San Bernardino.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So you started cutting the
Purdue.
whole neighborhood.
Yes.
Man.
Well, that's what's up. And so you started cutting the whole neighborhood. You realized you had this great passion. I hear you call yourself a cosbarb?
Cosbar.
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 Okay. Tell us about cosbar.
I am
What's
a
that?
mixture of both.
Okay.
worlds. Cosmetologist. I am a licensed cosmetologist. I am not a barber, but I love the barber industry.
I know
It's my passion.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to break into the barber industry when you are a cosmetologist.
Okay. So we see you breaking barriers, blazing trails,
Absolutely.
inventing terms.
Yes.
We like that though. That's really cool. I'm sure that other ladies will feel welcome to come into those spaces
Yes.
and do other things behind you. So that's a really big thing to do in the community. We appreciate it.
So we're here at Clash of the Clippers. Can you tell us what does this mean to the community or for you? Like what exactly? Like why should people pay attention and why is this important for the community and the impact that it's having?
It's a chance for everybody to get together and vibe with
Yeah.
each other, to support each other, and just
You know what else I found super interesting about the event and how it impacts the community? This is economic development, right?
Yes.
So the art of barbering or styling or lashes or the beard gang crew, that is teaching a skill
Right.
that can help prevent revolving doors of poverty,
It,
right?
it absolutely
Yes.
can.
So it's so much bigger than just looking good, because we know
Yeah.
you look good and you help other people look good.
Yes, I
but
try.
it has rippling effects in our community,
Right.
and I think that is so huge and often overlooked, you know?
It really is, because you're so right, Shekinah. Shekinah and I went to college, and college may not be for everybody,
That's true.
but they definitely have the opportunity to pick up a skill. Like if this is your like, I can't.
And the field is so wide.
It is.
It is so wide. There's so many different
Eyelashes,
things you can do.
eyebrows,
Yes.
hair, and there's so many different types of hair.
Right.
Understanding, right?
Right.
I can't even. I don't even like to shave my own head. So I know I wasn't called to what you're called to, and it speaks to how we're all called to something very different.
Yeah.
Right.
You
That's
know,
super cool.
and something that we can really help cultivate in our youth, right? Like our youth are looking at this, and parents, please show this to your children, because they have the opportunity. Somebody may want to be a basketball player, but basketball may not work out. Why not make sure that they have an opportunity to put money in their pocket,
Right.
and to keep them out of the criminal justice system by simply just trying to put money in their pocket,
And
right?
even starting at like 14 when you're young. You got
Yeah.
a garage or a driveway, cut in the driveway. I know so many people that started out like that, so that's super cool. And even if college is your path or whatever the case
Yes.
may be, multiple streams of income.
Multiple.
That's the new
Right.
sexy. All right?
Yes.
You want to be
it is.
sexy? Multiple streams of income.
I'm trying to get that on right now.
Ain't nobody mad.
I'm trying to get that
With
on
your
right
edges
now.
and your multiple
Let me
streams.
tell you. Let me tell you.
I'm
let
not
me
mad.
tell you.
So I think that's a big part of why today is super important, the economic impact. But also, if you could talk to us a little bit about esteem. So you help people look good,
Yes.
and they get out of your chair, and how that impacts things moving forward. Like, what are your thoughts?
I
on
just
that?
love after I cut somebody's hair for them to jump out of the chair with this whole new.
Whole new swag.
I'm not
Yeah,
mad.
they get out the chair and just like, oh, feeling themselves. It makes me feel good that I can
Yeah.
make somebody else feel good about themselves.
And it makes me feel good that you make other people look good. I appreciate linings. Linings are great. We should keep those.
Well, Mo, thank you so much for
you.
being here.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't leave us. We'll be right back. You are tuned in. This is the first,
Yes.
the Urban Impact Show, hosted by yours truly, Rob Johnson.
Shekinah Young. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Thanks so much. Thanks, Mo.
Thanks, Mo.
And we're back. Welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. This show is designed so that we can create an impact in our community, and a part of our mission is to interview those who are making an impact. So we have with us the legendary Tony Mack right here at Clash of the Clippers, right here at Perry Meadows. If you haven't found your way down here, please make your way down here right now. This is the Urban Impact Show. I'm your host, Rob Johnson, along with my co-host,
Shekinah Young.
Shekinah Young. And we have Mr. Tony Mack here with us right
Tony
now.
Mack in the building.
He is the owner and founder of Clipponomics.
Yes.
And he is a licensed master barber instructor. As a matter of fact, Mr. Tony Mack, you started a whole school, didn't you?
Yes, sir. I'm in the process of opening up a barber college here in Des Moines, Iowa, Clipponomics Academy of Hairstyling.
Now, are there many barber colleges just all over the U.S., black owned?
Of course there is, but this would be Des Moines, Iowa, or what I would say the state of Iowa, first black-owned barber college.
Wow, that is huge.
That is huge.
That's huge. So, can you introduce to our viewers, can you tell them about who you are and why you're so passionate about this?
Oh man, I've been very passionate about this barber career. I entered the game as a licensed. Well, I wasn't licensed when I first got into business. 1989, I first time picked up a pair of clippers. I didn't get licensed until 1998.
I was born in 1988.
88.
Rob is so rude.
Man, Tony,
You was born in 88?
I was born in 88.
man.
You've been doing this as long as I've been alive.
Yeah,
So
yes,
what was
sir.
that like in 88 or 89? Were you
Yes,
doing
sir.
like the neighborhood? Were you doing friends and family? Who
Yeah,
were you
man,
cutting in?
You know, back then, man, you know, everybody kind of like grew up in a poor neighborhood, you know, and everyone needed to get a lineup or their hair fixed up a little better than what they had. And I was just that go-to guy at the time that I was kind of getting pretty good with the Clippers, man. And a lot of times you pick up some kind of a skill or a talent and not even knowing what you could do with it until it's time to execute.
That's right.
You know, and fortunately, man, for my lady, man, she pointed me in the right direction back in the '90s. Said, "Hey, man, I'm tired of you putting this hair all over my kitchen and all over my house. You need to go to barber school and get more professional with this thing and get you a barber shop."
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay,
So I've been doing it ever
we
since.
point y'all in the right direction.
Yeah, the queen,
that.
the queen
I'm
put
not
me in the
mad.
right
The,
direction.
the,
Go
the,
on,
the,
girl.
wo- the
Shout out
woman
to the
did
queen.
it. The woman did it.
Yes.
Women always do it.
That's super cool. So tell us a little bit about why you're so passionate about this, why you wanted to start the school, why did you choose this industry? What is it about barbering that is so attractive to you?
Well, you know, the art of male grooming, it's a passionate talent that I've acquired through just self-care, I would say. Begun with self-care and being able to maintain and groom myself.
Yeah.
As I started being able to be better at that,
Yeah.
other guys kind of started noticing that I was always well groomed. And I used to cut my own hair when I was younger. And being able to do that also, people started noticing me cutting my own hair and asking me to cut their hair.
Yeah.
And as I was an unprofessional dude at the time, back in '89, that's been a long time ago. But,
It has
you
been.
know, since then, I'm a licensed barber, multiple barbershops.
Yeah.
Right here in Des Moines, Iowa. You know, I started out first barbershop ever owned in Des Moines, Iowa, 2420 University, man. It's legendary. I never forget it. Right next door to Loose Ends, man. We had that shop popping, man. You know, Loose Ends, Tony Mack's barbershop, right there on 24th and University, man. And,
I think, Tony Mack, through your story, you were talking a lot about being younger and starting before like actually having a license, but you were doing great things in the community. Talk a little bit about how barbering impacts the economy in these communities that you're
Oh
talking
yeah, man. You know, we got to keep the black dollars in the black community. You know, right now, a lot of things that I got going on for the black community, a lot of people don't know. I'll be behind the scenes, but I'm launching, with the help of Roosevelt High School, we got the barbershop program inside Roosevelt High School. Inside the Roosevelt High School, me and myself and Big Rob, under the guidance with the principal, Mr. Biggs over there.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
We are teaching a lot of youth over there about this occupation.
Yeah.
Being a barber. Within that barbershop program we have inside Roosevelt, it's going to be like a think tank where we're going to be able to use some of the individuals that be inside my barber chair. I cut a lot of guys such as, you know, professional guys, doctors, lawyers, businessmen,
Absolutely.
Firefighters, police officers. I got welders, plumbers, electricians. There's all kind of different kind of guys that do all different kind of
Yeah.
things. We want to bring these guys into Roosevelt High School,
Yeah.
let them talk to the kids,
Yeah.
and let the kids have an ideal on different ways and directions that they might go if they're not able to go to a 4-year university.
You know, Tony, let me ask this question. So we're here at the 3rd annual Clash of the Clippers.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell our viewers and even somebody that may be watching this who's trying to even inspire their own family or their own youth,
Yeah.
why is something like this so important?
Man, this is so important, man. And by the way, man, I took first place at the first Clash of the Clippers,
That's
man. You know,
Okay.
I want y'all
All
to know
right.
that, man. I took
Make
first
sure that's
place.
clear, huh?
Yeah, make that go clear. Make that go
Clarify.
public. Yeah, I took first place. And Big Rob will co-sign that. But anyway, man, with the passion what goes into this career right here, man, you know, I know this Bible. This Bible book is like a Bible to me, man. And I feel like it's a lot of young youth out here in our community
Yeah.
that are being like they're engaged in different types of I would just call it behavior, man.
Yeah.
That some of these young youth need to be redirected and more corrected into another type of way, you know.
Yeah.
And I want to make this be an outlet affordable that some of the youth could attend my school and learn this here trade and be able to take care of their families.
Yeah.
You know, young men, even women that want to be barbers.
Yeah.
That's right.
Maybe one more question for you. How do you feel about the barbershop being a place of community where people go to get information, to find out what's going on. It's a friend of ours mentioned earlier that the barbershop is kind of like our local country club with a cheaper membership fee.
Indeed so.
Yes. So how do you feel about that? What issues do you hear talking about? How do you see the barbershop helping smaller communities or under-resourced communities or communities of color propel change and move things forward? How do you see the barbershop?
The barbershop does a lot for the community, man. I mean, we all got the back-to-school movements, where we do the backpacks and free haircuts and everything like that. But also, it's a very informative area,
Yeah, you can talk about everything.
I can look back when I was a little kid, man, and you pick up on a lot of things sitting in the barbershop on a Saturday morning, and of course, as you know, like. Anytime something is on the news, some kind of event going on, what's going on at the club, the parties is coming up, what churches got the best dinners next week. I mean, you can go on and on. Politics, religion, sports, everything go on in the barbershop.
Yeah,
even
you
a
can
bunch
talk
of
about
joking.
everything.
You get in my chair, man. Hey man, you might get a joke busted on you, but I'm gonna give you a good haircut along with it.
That's
right.
funny.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much, Tony Mack, for chilling with us for a minute and talking to us a little bit about Clippernomics, what your plans are as far as the school goes, and how you are impacting the community. Now, we really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us a bit. We are going to wrap up and come right back with our next guest, but you are listening to our very first, Robert, our very first Urban Impact podcast.
Yes. So
he looked up like
first?
he was in trouble. No, you're not in trouble, Rob. It's good.
this is the very first show. Like
Yeah.
this show is
you're on it.
is going to be kicking off where we're going to be doing interviews with people just like you.
Yeah.
Who are making an impact. I feel like we do a lot of stuff, we watch BET,
Yeah.
we watch MTV. There's a lot going on with a lot of people, right? We all know LeBron James,
Yes, we do.
but they also need to know Tony Mack. They
hey,
also
man.
need to know Big Rob.
I'm a legend
They
in the
also
city,
need to
man. I'm
know
a household name. And you know what, man? Long time ago, man, Big Rob worked in my first barbershop. Man, me and him have to sit down and tell y'all that story one of these days, man, how things was back then.
Yeah.
Man. There's a gentleman go right there walking by as I'm speaking about it.
Yeah. Hey, well, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
Please do not go. We will be right back with our next guest. You are tuned in to the Urban Impact Show. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rob Johnson,
Shekinah Young.
and we'll be right back. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Yes,
Thank
we are.
you so much for continuing to tune in. Listen, Urban City Magazine presents the Urban Impact Show.
Yes.
This is a show hosted by yours truly, Rob Johnson,
Shekinah Young.
and we're here at a Clash. This is the third annual
Third
Clash
annual.
of the Clippers presented by Big Rob along with Battle of the Salons. Am I right, Rob?
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Listen, Big Rob is definitely somebody, a well-known name in our community. And we're just super excited to be here to continue to support his vision on what he has going on. So Big Rob, now listen, you and I, we good friends. I'm in the barbershop sometimes I go to the barbershop, I don't even need a haircut because my
Exactly.
edges be laid.
We know. We
my
know.
edges be laid. So we're here with Big Rob. For those of you who don't know, Big Rob is the proud owner of Platinum Cuts and Platinum Signature, which is out in West Des Moines, 2600 University Ave, right there in Governor Square.
Yeah.
So Big Rob, can you introduce and just kind of give the people a little bit of history for those who are watching from Chicago, Atlanta, and from other parts of the country, not just here in Des Moines, but can you give them a little bit of information about yourself?
Yeah, I've been in business for 19 years. We opened up the barbershop Platinum Cuts back in 2001. Ever since then, I wanted to step outside the barber chair and do something different that involves still with the industry. So
Yeah.
came up with a hair show called the Midwest Barber Stylist Explosion. Then eventually we turned that into Clash of the Clippers, which now is happening today.
Yeah.
Right now.
We started that 2010. Just started off as a barber battle. So of course, just having the barber show didn't really bring the public out are, the women. Because, it gets kind of boring just watching a haircut for 45 minutes. But tonight, what you're going to see tonight at 6 o'clock is the Battle of the Salons. So we're going to kick that out tonight at 6:30 with 4 amazing girls that's going to be competing on the stage for $5,000.
$5,000.
Yeah, we're giving away $5,000 for the grand championing. And right now we have several different barber categories going on.
Okay.
And I think right now it's the traditional. We have 12 barbers competing.
Yeah.
So we're giving $1,000 away for each category on that one. But it's about bringing the community out and pretty much showing them the barber world and what we have to offer. We have over 60 vendors from people selling shoes, products, hair products, clippers. We got a couple
edges.
There you go.
Speaking of that, I need some lashes.
Oh, you wanted some edges, right?
No,
edges.
he said he wanted a man unit.
Rob, speaking of that, you were supposed to put
that.
some hair on my head, man.
You know what?
You know what?
We've been running out of time.
Okay.
But we got some great vendors. We got the Average Brothers that came with us today, and some guys with the Iowa Beard Company. We also have one of the brothers has opened up a school this year, Clippernomics. That's where I first started in my shop at Tony Mac's Barbershop.
Yeah, we just talked to Tony Mac.
Yeah, so it's a lot of amazing things. We have the image program here in the building. We have people from all around the country in the building, matter of fact.
Yeah.
So the judges and some of the educators are all from around the country, from Arkansas all the way from Philly to LA. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to bring people together and bring excitement.
Yeah.
Big Rob, we just heard, and I'm sorry, Shekinah.
No, go ahead.
Big Rob, we just heard that you and Tony Mac are going to Roosevelt.
Yes. So we started a program for the kids, and that's giving them an opportunity at an early age to start their career off earlier. So if we can help make a difference, why not?
I know that's right. So the show is called the Urban Impact Show, and we are really interested specifically in today talking about how barbering, cosmetology, the entire show is impacting our community. You talked a little bit about, I call it an apprenticeship program. Do you call it that? The program going on at the high schools with you and...
It's something like that. Yeah.
Yes. But teaching them that skill, and that's a skill they can take with them, and that can either be a side job or a full career thing that they have going on. What are other ways that you see the barbershop impacting the community?
Oh, a lot. We get first of all, the barbershop was always like a black man's country club. It was always a place for somebody to go there and network, and just a place to go and get information. You know what I mean? That was the information, and it's still like that today.
Right.
So it's still like that today, where people go and build relationships, network, and there's a lot that goes on in the barbershop.
I'm especially excited because we met Mo earlier and we talked to her. She's out at your West Des Moines location. And I was talking about how as a woman, I've never been like, I'm going to go to the barbershop. That's always been like a man area to me. But now that I know those ladies are there and you have services that cater more to some lady functions, I'm like, oh, this is cool. And Mo is fly, P.S.
Yeah, she's
Very
super
fly.
super fly.
Very fly.
She's from Cali, so she got a little Cali swag.
Oh, definitely. Oozing, right?
Yeah, but the new shop is basically like a updated barbershop from the old version, and it's more relaxed. So we got a bar.
You can set appointments there. You got a massage
Pretty
chair
much,
there.
yeah, everything, and it's set up for you to come and relax and chill and get a top-notch service.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Rob, we know you're busy. We're super busy today. We thank you so much for taking just a couple minutes to come hang out with us. We're live here. Can you tell the people where we're live from right now? Can you give them their info?
Yeah, we're at Prairie Meadows Casino out in Altoona, Iowa. It's getting ready to go down here in about an hour. So if you want to come out and see a good show, DL. This guy right here is an amazing guy right here. DL was Tupac and Biggie Barber. So DL, I'm gonna have you speak on this. I'm gonna run up in there. Okay.
Sure. You want to? Can we get a quick? Oh,
I gotta
okay.
go do my job.
This your job. We just gonna give you about 5 minutes. I mean, three minutes.
3 minutes. We'll
Just
switch y'all
introduce
out real
yourself,
quick.
tell them what you're doing. And, all right. Well, I
right.
thank you guys for having me on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
I'm gonna go step in the room and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And, this guy right here, I want to welcome DL to Urban Magazine. Ready?
Yes. Come through, DL.
Okay.
We're ready for you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Thanks so much, Big Rob.
Thank you.
This is the mayor right here.
The man.
Thank you so much. Welcome back to the Urban Impact Show, presented to you by the Urban City Magazine.
Yes.
Please, whatever you do, share this video.
Yes.
We are live right now from the 3rd annual Clash of the Clippers, presented by Big Rob. I am your co-host, Rob Johnson.
And I am Shekinah Young.
And we're sitting here right now with a legend in the building. We have a legend in the building, flew in just for this show, right here in Iowa. We have Cali boy himself, Mr. DL, the Master Barber.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Yes, sir.
That's
yes,
me right
sir.
there.
Yes, sir.
That would be me right there.
So we are super excited to have you. Thank you so much. I know Big Rob, listen, Big Rob is a really good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I know that if he has a ton of respect for you, then I know you have to be something special, man.
Nah, I'm just this humble servant. That's all I am, is a humble servant.
Man, speaking of servant, can you give our audience just a little bit of information about how you do serve the community, things that you've done, and just kind of educate them on who you are?
Well, I would like to say hello to your fans, and
Yes.
you guys make sure y'all subscribe to this,
Yes.
because this is that real information.
Urban
you know what
City
I mean?
Magazine, the
And-
Urban Impact Show.
But my thing is serving the community, because that's what barbers do,
Yes.
and that's what barbers are. And I think that for me, it was about changing the narrative and getting back to the basics. Right? The narrative that we have now is I feel that the industry is blowing up like crazy, but they running around like crazy too. I mean, back in the day, barbers used to really have a serious, the characteristic skills were like on point, customer service on point, taking care of family on point, owning home ownership on point, legacy driven on point. And now we're starting to move away from that. And so for me, I've been traveling all over the world. I'm an international educator. I'm also one of Paul Mitchell speakers. And so I go around all over the world speaking, trying to uplift, motivate, inspire, and empower people to try to get to the next level. And I want to get people to understand my path. Because if they can just get a piece of that path, they can go on their merry way. I would like to, when I speak, I like to talk about my failures more than my successes, because my failures can help you not go down that same road, not have to lose 2 or 3 years of your life.
Yeah.
I was a millionaire by 21. I was broke by 23. In less than 700 days, I figured out a way to lose all my money because of lack of investing, lack of understanding on money, lack of mentorship. So those are the things that I want people to understand. Those are the things that I want people to know. And those are the things that I say, hey, you guys got to get out here, save your money, understand what credit is so you can have access, and treat people right. And the key to all that is customer service.
Yes, yes.
So what I hear you saying, Mr. Beal, is that you use the artistry of barbering to talk about financial literacy and like making moves in financial industry so that you can be secure
Yes.
and have that stability in those places. Tell us a little bit about how you got started and what were some of those early lessons that
Well,
you
the
learned?
early lessons for me, I came out in the era called hip hop. I don't know if you guys know anything about that.
Absolutely.
But hip hop is where I came out in, and back then there was no music videos, there was no Yo MTV Raps, there was none of that. And so I was in barber school, and every rap artist had to come out to Hollywood to sign their record deal. And I just so happened to be, God bless, in an area which was only blocks away, 3 to 5 block radius from every record label, Capitol, Arista, every single one of them. And so when I was in barber school, a lot of these artists were young, just as but I was cutting in the windows at my barber school. But when they would ask me to come to the hotel, come to find out it's Big Daddy Kane up there. Come to find out it's Rob Bass up there. High Five, Soul For Real, Public Enemy, Stetsasonic, De La
Alright.
Soul. So I started doing all of those, and then a good friend of mine hooked me up with a guy.
You just listed all of them like, I mean, Lord have mercy.
Well, that's what I do.
Half of them was right. Look, I was born in '88.
Yeah.
And a lot of this really kind of exploded in the 90s.
Yeah.
And so this was like, for Shekinah and I, this was like the Bulls era for us, right?
Yeah.
Like
I was doing those cuts. I mean, when
Yeah.
you see Kid and Play and, Class Act and House Party, those flat tops, and Larry Blackman. I was a child doing Larry Blackman's hair and putting that flat top on. And then a good friend of mine, which I speak on that a lot about relationships.
Yeah.
Building relationships instead of building clientele.
Yeah.
Right.
And as you build relationships, then you have a lifetime with those people. And so I hooked up with a guy named Chiba who actually turned me on to this other guy. You guys might know him. But this guy that I'm talking about, he had asked me to look out for him while he was out of town. So he had came from the Bay Area. He came down to LA, and I looked out for him for the weekend. We ended up becoming friends because at that time I was a dancer. I might not look like it now, but I was a dancer, and he was a dancer. And so we kind of like, like really had a real serious, like, cool connection.
Yeah.
And then he called me one day and said, "Hey, I'm doing this movie." I said, "I didn't know you act." He said, "Yeah, I do this. I act." And so he's like, "Man, I want you to look at the script." And I looked at the script. And then after I looked at the script, we did what I told him to come down. We did basically a cut for like a screen test.
Yeah.
And they liked it, And at that time, they didn't have sponge brushes. So what I did was a T-shirt, wet T-shirt. And I just messed his hair up because he was a stick-up kid.
Yeah.
So he couldn't have a fly haircut. So I couldn't do strong lines and things like that. He called me back and said they going with it, and so I did that cut.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was working for Arsenio Hall.
You did a sponge
With a wet T-shirt.
Yeah, with a wet T-shirt.
Yeah, because I had to make it look old, messed up.
Man.
So what ended up happening is that movie that we're talking about is Juice. And the person I'm talking about is Tupac.
Wow.
And so, further on, in the career, I ended up being one of the only artists ever to do Tupac and Big at the same time. I was flying from the east to the west, doing both of them. So I
Right.
got to see both sides of it.
Right.
What I do want people to understand is neither one of them wanted that beef. But I learned a lot from working with him. I also learned a lot working with Pac. I also was with Puffy for 3.5 years, and I had a good career, but I don't call myself a celebrity barber. I don't want anybody calling me a celebrity barber because I don't believe in it. I think that's something that you made up. I think that's something that people made up.
Yeah.
And when they make up these names, why would I give you credit for the work that I've done? I'm a master barber. That's it.
Right.
That's all. Have you ever heard of a celebrity plumber?
I have not.
What about a celebrity roofer?
I have not heard of a celebrity.
Okay, so
plumber.
then you made it up. And if you're a celebrity barber or a celebrity stylist, then I would think that you're the celebrity. So, these names, why give the credit for all of the schooling that I did?
Yeah.
All of the educational classes that I did. Now I want to get that up and give it to Puff? Man, forget that.
Yeah.
You do you, I'm going to do me.
Yeah. So I'm so glad you said that because, we talk about, there's room for everybody, right? And J. Cole said in his song, "Why should I beef with a man just because he slid in my lane?" Right? And let's talk about that a little bit because I feel like especially within the African American community, there's a lot where we maybe even bring our own selves down because instead of lifting each other up, we do like the crabs in a barrel mentality, right? There's somebody who's trying to climb this barber ladder. You've been there for a long time, and they're trying. It's about mentoring. It's about helping each other. It's about growing and pushing. Because if you win, I can win.
Well, let me cut in.
Yes, come on.
Let me cut in. I've been on the road for 5 years straight, right? I'm home maybe 2 or 3 days, so I have hardly any downtime. But honestly, I've only been hired by 4 African American companies or people, like Rob. Rob, this is the second year Rob had me back, but I've only been hired by 3.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I've only been hired by 3, 4 now, But with all of the work that I've done, New Zealand, Australia, all of these places, China, and then I've only been hired by 4. Right? Then I go to the barbershops when I'm in town, if, like my flight was delayed and then canceled and things like that. But if I have time, I usually go to barbers and invite them to, my speaking engagements. And, it might be $60 or $80. I'm like, look, you know what? Y'all ain't even got to pay. It's on me.
Yeah.
Just give me your names and I'll let the producer, whoever, I'm going to let you in for free. And I get the most pushback.
Wow.
But when I go to a Latin shop or I go to an Asian shop, oh man, that's D.O. Master Barber. I don't need no claim to fame. I don't want that.
Yeah.
What I want is education. There's an old saying that says this: when you think education is expensive, try ignorance. And so what we're trying to do is inspire, empower, and motivate people to push people forward to understand that you don't have to sell your soul to no clipper company. You don't have to sell your soul to a product, a specific product. If you're going to do that, why don't you go out here and produce for yourself? See, too many barbers and too many stylists are spectators instead of being players. They want to shine, they want to be on that stage, but the problem is like, it's cool to have followers, but do you have the information in your head to back it up? You know, and a lot of companies are just hiring people who have a lot of followers, which is crazy to me. Because back in the day, you used to have to put in the work. Now you don't have to put in the work. And the sad thing for me is that with us as people, we don't help each other enough. And what's going on and what I've seen through I've did over almost 1,600 barbershops this year alone.
Wow.
And so what I've seen and what I've noticed is, and this is from my own personal experience, so this ain't some hypothesis, this is not something that somebody told me, this is not some scenario I read in a book, this is what I've seen. And what's missing out of the industry is God and love. Those are two major things that are missing in the industry. And when you don't have love and you don't have God and you don't have humility, then guess what happens? Then I'll do what the hell I want to do when I want to do it. And so I don't have to listen to you because I learned from the University of YouTube. And that's not the education that you need to be getting it from. You need to get it from a master barber because you want to be a master barber one day. The problem is you want to get in the microwave and get right out. Forget about going through the process. And the process is amazing.
Yeah.
The process is amazing. The ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. And most of these barbers ain't been through enough presidents to be trying to talk like they talking.
Yeah.
You got to go through presidents to the point where when the real estate market is down and people losing their houses and they don't know how they going to live and they still come in to get a haircut.
Wow.
And you still in business.
Wow.
But you come in on a high time when we got a Barack Obama in and now you balling, so you say. You know, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is we got to get back to love. We got to get back to humility. We got to get back to educating each other. We got to get back to home ownership. We got to get back to family. We got to, barbers, listen to me right now. Take your ASS home. You work so hard, but you don't go home. What about your family? What about your kids?
Retirement account, savings.
Well, but the thing is you working for you. If you working for family, then that will be in place. See, we don't want to talk about retirement. We don't want to talk about a Roth IRA account. You know, you talk about a Roth IRA account. What is that? Some jeans or something? No, bro.
No. That's a tax-free individual retirement account.
You understand what I'm saying? But they don't want to talk about those things. We want to talk about what's hot.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk about what's hot. I don't want to talk about followers. I want to talk about truth. Yeah. I want to talk about legacy. I want to talk about home ownership. I want to talk about how do you buy a house without no credit. And they don't want to talk about it, but it's real. This is what I do.
Yeah.
I want to talk about how do you get your credit right. I want to talk about how you get your credit life right. Yeah. I want to tell you, once you get your credit life right, you have access.
Yeah.
See, when we talk about them other people, the world is their playground. We talk about us, our backyard is our playground, where we was raised.
Yep.
We want access
our 4
to
block radius.
Come on.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So we got to get back to saving, and we got to teach one. Each one teach one. Get back to raising a village.
Yeah.
And doing that, I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
I don't care about what everybody else is doing. DL Master Barber, Darren Lyons is doing his part. Can't nobody say he ain't put in the work. Can't nobody say he has not sacrificed.
And that's what we really like about the show, about the Urban Impact Show. We are really trying to share information to empower people to go beyond. If there's something that you don't like that you want to change, we're about that change.
Yes.
We're talking about making that change. And I hear that you've written a book and you have another one on the
Just
way
a little one,
to
just a
share
little
some
bit.
information
Just a little bit.
about financial stability, financial literacy, how to take your earnings in your profession and just have rippling effects with us.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about those 2 books.
Well, the first book is Pocket Game, The Art of Saving Without Saving. When I lost my money is because I was living ghetto fabulous. I had a lot of things, but I didn't have any bricks under my feet.
Okay.
I knew how, I just didn't want to listen to my father, who had taught me these things beforehand. So I created this book called Pocket Game, The Art of Saving. $20 a day. I did it on $20 because a lot of us don't know how to count. So I did it on $20. If I did 25, we'd have got some confusion in the bunch. So $20 a day for 5 days. Average barber hairstylist works 5 days. So $20 a day for 5 days is $100. Times that times 4 weeks, that's $400 a month. You mean all I did was took my first haircut and put it in my back pocket and I got $400 and I didn't do nothing. That's why it's called the art of saving without saving. You ain't saved no money. All you did was your first haircut. Hairstylist, the same thing.
Pay yourself.
Pay yourself. Pay God, pay yourself. Pay God and pay yourself. Once you start paying yourself, my ex, amazing woman, while I was writing the book, she did it for 3 months. She saved $10,000 off her first. And she ain't no celebrity, nothing. She's doing hair. And all she did was took her first hairstyle, her first haircut, whatever that was, first weave, whatever your first is, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Discipline.
That's right.
Good. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for taking the time. We know, I feel like you're being pulled away from us.
Yes.
But we appreciate you for taking the time so much, DL.
No doubt.
We will look out for
You guys
the
continue to
second book.
subscribe and then look out for the newest book coming out,
Yeah.
The Credit Game.
Okay.
Credit
All right.
Game.
Yes,
Gotcha.
sir.
Thank
Hey,
you so
God bless
much.
you guys.
We appreciate it.
We're live here at the Clash of the Clippers, the 3rd annual, presented by Big Rob. There'll be a battle of the salons. We're right here in Perry Meadows. What town are we in? Altoona, Iowa?
Altoona.
We're in Altoona, Iowa. Please come out. Mr. Dia, Mr. Darren Lyons, and he is a master barber.
Yes.
He just really dropped some nuggets on
Major
us.
nuggets.
So we getting ready to take a quick break. You're watching the Urban Impact Show. I'm your host, Rob Johnson with.
Shekinah Young.
We'll be right back. Keep watching.
No doubt.
Thank you. Welcome back. Welcome back. You are watching and listening to the Urban Impact Show. I am one of your hosts, Shekinah Young, joining me with
Rob Johnson.
Rob Johnson and Shekinah Young in the building. And this show is all about highlighting movers and shakers and people who are getting things done in our community. We want to talk about how we are impacting the community. We'll have some national guests. We're doing some community issues, talking about politics, embracing the culture, all of that, the whole 9 yards. But joining us now is Representative Akeo Abdul Samad with the 35th District right here in Des Moines, Iowa. Welcome, Akeo.
It's good to be here. Very good to be
Great
here.
to see
With
you.
two of the up-and-coming movers and shakers. Always
Doing
good.
that. We just try to help.
We just here to serve.
Hey, that's what we all do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, Rob, tell them, where are we? Talk about where we are.
So we are right here at Perry Meadows at the 3rd annual Clash of the Clippers Battle of the Salons, presented by Big Rob from Platinum Cuts. And I'm super excited because Representative Akeo is here for a direct reason. Now, for those of you who don't know, Big Rob is somebody that is a huge member of our community. He's done some awesome work in our community, but so has Akeo.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited that Akeo thought it not robbery of his time to come down here to help us do something that is a huge surprise to Big Rob. So those of you watching, he does not know what's going to take place today. So keep it a secret. I just put our secret in your hands. Don't text him, don't tell him, but I'm super excited to be here. Representative Akeo,
Yes.
how can you tell us, how long have you been serving the community?
Oh, I started serving the community when I was 16 years old.
And what were you doing?
And being 21 now is
Got it.
got it.
Times
No,
three.
I'm proud. No, I'm proud to be. I just turned 68 this year.
I know that's right.
This is my life. This is what I've been doing ever since. That's why I'm glad to be here at this event, the 3rd annual, because this is what we need to show in our community. This is what we need to dispel those rumors that people can't work together, especially black people can't work together. We need to dispel that, and we need to quit listening to that and spreading that rumor.
I agree. So wholeheartedly, I think that's really important that figures involved in our legislation are here, because you may not think of hair and any kind of laws or acts on a normal basis, but recently in California and New York, they had the Crown Act that was passed.
Yes.
And that's talking a lot about it not being a crime for someone who has naturally tight coiled hair, which is traditionally us, or kinky hair, to wear their hair natural, because that was a crime prior. Or even in 2016, we had some issues within our own state where hair braiding was not allowed if you didn't have a cosmetology license.
Exactly.
Talk to us a little bit about the space that you work in and how passing things like the Crown Act or legislation for hair braiding can impact the economy, impact jobs, impact our community?
Well, one of the things, especially about the braiding, it took us 3 years to get that bill passed.
Yeah.
So individuals, especially of African descent,
Yeah.
could braid hair without having to go to school, could braid hair without having to turn their home into a shop.
Right.
But we did get it passed. But I think one of the things that, if I say that is one of the most important steps that were taken in the last 5 years, is that we have white legislators that go to Platinum Cut now
Yes.
and get their hair cut.
Yes.
They were nervous at first, but then when they walked in and found out that there was nothing to be scared about,
Right.
nobody was going to mug them, everybody was having fun.
Yeah.
They came back and they said, Akeo, that's the best haircut I ever had.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is
So,
awesome.
so we're breaking barriers. We're breaking barriers on different levels. Rob is, the two of you are. But we have to continue. This is only the beginning.
Right.
We're taking baby steps right now.
Right.
And so we have to get away from simple achievements and start heading for progress. Get away from cosmetic and start doing systemic. This is systemic. This third annual is systemic because it's bringing people together, and that's what we have to be able to do. Is be able to bring people together, the young folk, the millennials, the older, the Gen X, and everybody, whatever you want to be called.
Yeah.
We got to come together and understand there's a place for each and every one of us in this struggle, because the struggle is real, and we can and must win.
So, Akeo, we often talk a lot about, this is our first show, and we want to talk about like the impact that we're having and the impact of people like you that is definitely having on our community. And so events like this, having you being present. Also, we've been talking a lot about mental health, right? We've been talking a lot about mental health. And Shekinah and I both know getting your hair done definitely affects your mental health. It affects how you view you and how you go out, how you go throughout the day, and and I know, and I've interrupted some of your sessions, getting your head shaved and getting your beard lined up. But can you talk a little bit about why you feel that this and mental health, that there is a connection, even though some people may not see it?
One of the things that we have to understand, the churches were based on helping individuals feel better about their life. Because what you look forward to in growing up in America, and especially in the urban community, was Sunday.
Yeah.
Getting dressed, looking good, going to church, putting the big hat on, putting the suit on, putting the shoes and the shining. Because if you look good,
Yeah.
you mentally feel better. The problem we have, Rob, is that we didn't have mechanisms in place to continue that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday. And that's what we're talking about now. How do we get that? One of the things I thought was just awesome when the back to school bash that you put on, Shekinah and Rob was emceeing and asked me to speak and then didn't let me speak. But anyway, but the thing was, it was fun. But when I walked down to the basement of the John R. Grubb Y and saw those kids getting those haircuts,
Yes.
I watched them sparkle.
Yeah.
They were going to school. I watched parents have relief in their eyes because they didn't know how they were going to pay for the haircut. That is mental health. We just have to continue doing that. And I'm hoping that next year that we all get together and we bring some young children out here to be part of this. To let them see other barbers, or let them talk to barbers, or hold some workshops so that they can mentor them. And get them involved. Those are things that we also need to move each time to upgrade it, make it better, and reach out to our community. Those are the things that we have to look at. Mental health is not a disease, folks. It's a conditioning. And it's conditioning that especially African Americans have been in for over 400 years. We suffer from mental health. Not everybody, depends on what level and that type of thing. But depression is something that comes into our community when you can't pay your bills, when you can't get your child a backpack or books to go to school, when you can't get them a haircut, Rob, or you can't buy them some new tennis shoes, because we have been so conditioned to go get the brand new updated tennis shoe.
Yeah.
You know, so when we can't put a Air Jordan or something on our child, then our child feels out, you know, like he's an outcast or she's an outcast, and the parent says, God, I tried my best. Yeah, we have to begin to do that and change the dialogue on what's important to us.
Yeah.
To be able to help. I love what you're doing, Rob, in the workshops that you've been holding. I think that's imminent. What do you call it, Rob?
Code Red.
Code Red. I think that is something that has to be ongoing and reach out. And the last one, I heard individuals, including myself, tell their story
Yes.
and where they're at.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and that's important. You know, Shekinah, I've watched you through the years. You know, one of the things that I'm proud about, you know, is that I got to watch the two of you grow up.
Ever since Drake.
Yeah. See, that's what beautiful for me. That's very beautiful for me to see you, the two of you, taking the realm, you know, taking the helm and going forward and make it work now. You know, because that means that we will start looking at our elders in the way we're supposed to look at them. That means we're not going to wait and kill individuals like we did Mrs. Davis, you know, and let her go until she served her last breath and still didn't have a pension plan. You know, we're not going to do those things. You two and others were your grooming leadership. I see the leadership, you know, consortium or that type of thing. I watch you in the ministry, and I watch you grow in the ministry. Yes. You know, I remember when you wouldn't even think about being a minister. In
What
fact,
would you think about? Tell everybody.
Shekinah, let me tell you. I said,
No, you ain't gonna tell.
no, I'm not going to tell on him. I said,
You can tell. It's
I said,
okay.
preacher.
It's
I said, preacher. He said, I'm not a preacher. I said, you're a preacher.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was throwing parties.
Yeah, he was throwing by. I said, you a preacher. He said, no, I ain't going to be no preacher. I said, I'm going to see you in the pulpit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next thing you know, he was in the pulpit.
Right.
Yep.
And teaching and getting off too. You know, I turned around, walked down the aisle, and I heard him go, I said, he got it. So, but now what I say to the two of you, who do you got coming up?
Right.
Who are you mentoring now?
Yes.
You know, whose shoulders will, you know, you allow, you know, to stand on?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do and start showing them now.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
definitely stand on yours and many other shoulders.
Yeah.
Many.
And I tell you all the time when I see you face to face, I always tell you, I have a path to walk because you laid the foundation.
Right.
And so we definitely appreciate it to you. I'm going to toss it to Shekinah for our last question
Yes.
before we go to break.
Yes. I just wanted to mention, we talked earlier to Mo, and she's working out at Big Rob's shop in West Des Moines, and she was talking about being a woman in the industry and their welcoming of, their expanding hair and cosmetology and barber skill sets to engage with things that women need. And then we talked a little bit to Mr. Tony Mack, and he talked about how he's working with Big Rob for the kind of apprenticeship program going into the schools to teach the kids the artistry of barbering so they can start a career younger if they like. Then we talked to Big Rob by himself, and of course he's busy all over the place, and he has to go really quickly. And then we talked to another gentleman by the name of DL out of California, who has had great opportunity to not style, but cut several celebrities, and he's grown in that, and he's even moving forward to do books and talk about financial literacy when it comes to like small business owners or someone like a barber or a stylist. So it's really, I feel like it's a full circle hearing you talk about leadership and mentorship and each one teach one. And you see that in each of the interviews that we had earlier today. They're really making an impact. So I hope you feel proud of the things that you've done and the ground that you've laid, legislation that's moving forward in other cities and other states, and also bills that are being passed here that make it so that more people can get into this industry, so that people can wear their hair naturally, grow that artistic expression, gain another stream of income, or even start their own business in a way that they had not been able to do that before. So we wouldn't be able to do that without you blazing the trails that you have. So that's not necessarily a question, it's some props.
Thank
so
you.
we really appreciate you and the work
Thank
that you're doing in this community.
I appreciate both of you.
Yeah.
I love both of you. And if I can just close with my little saying,
Yes.
I always say the struggle is real, and we can and must win.
We
Yes.
Much love.
will. We win.
Listen, you are tuned in to the Urban Impact Show.
Yes.
This show is designed for us to be interviewing people like Representative Akeo. We have some more guests that's going to be coming up.
Yeah.
We are live from Clash of the Clippers. I'm sorry, third annual. I think
Third
that's
annual.
important.
Correct.
I think that's important.
It is.
Third annual Clash of the Clippers right here at Perry Meadows. We have the Battle of the Barbers and the Battle of the Salons coming up. We're getting ready to go in there and give Rob some flowers while he can yet smell them. So please don't tell him, because there's two things that's going to happen today, and we're super excited. Please continue to tune in. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rob Johnson,
Shekinah Young.
and we'll be right back.
Right back.
And we are back.
Yeah. We in this thing, man.
Look, check this out. Welcome to the Urban Impact Show, brought to you by Urban City Magazine.
Yes.
We're super excited to be here. Again, I am your co-host, Rob Johnson, with
Shekinah Young.
Shekinah Young. Listen, y'all, we're at the third annual Clash of the Clippers.
Yes.
Presented by Big Rob, Battle of the Salons.
Yes.
It's happening right now right here at Perry Meadows Casino over in Altoona, Iowa, and we are live. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
And we have a special guest with us. Now, many of you all know I'm from Chicago.
All right.
And I love anything Chicago. That's the Bulls, the Bears, and the people.
Southside.
And the people.
And the Sox.
So we have somebody with us that is also from Chicago, but is by way of Cedar Rapids. And this is one of the prolific barbers that I know. Let me just tell you a quick little tidbit. I was traveling for Deidre DeGear's Secretary of State campaign, and we were all over the state, Shekinah.
Yes,
we were
sir.
all over Iowa, right? And I could not get a haircut in certain areas. So, you know, if you stand up for Deidre and you're speaking on her behalf, you want to look right, you know? You don't want to get up there looking any old kind of way, right? Man, I went to Waterloo, Cedar Rapids. Anytime I would go to any of those places, I would stop and get a haircut by this guy. Now, everybody know Dan Bradshaw is who cuts my hair from Platinum. Shout out to Dan.
Mr. Steady Clientele.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dan. Shout out to you. But when I was out of town speaking for Deidre, I needed somebody to take care of me that I knew would pay attention to detail.
Right.
You know, because I like it a certain way. I ain't got no edges, so I needed somebody.
We can get you some edges.
So I needed somebody who was going to look out for me.
Right.
And let me tell y'all right now, the man sitting right here in the middle of Shekinah and I, Mr. James Witherspoon, took care of me every single time.
That's what's up,
Without
Mr. James
and let me tell you something. He has specific rules to get your haircut by him.
Okay.
You gotta be 15 minutes early for your appointment.
Yeah.
And you must be respectful, right?
Okay.
I never had an appointment. This man wasn't even in the shop.
Okay.
I would say, hey James, I'm coming like right now. Can you get me in? Rob, I'm on my way because it's you.
You know what it is, because you always showed me love from the beginning.
You know.
When I made my transition from Cedar Rapids to Des Moines, when Big Rob opened his shop to me with open arms, you always used to come around the barber shop, and every time you come in the shop, you greet each and every barber.
Yeah.
No man is left behind with
That's
you.
right.
You have a personal connection with people, and that's why I know that you veer in the politics realm, because you are a people person.
Yeah.
And I know you're a God-fearing man on top of that.
All
And
right.
we need more examples, because a lot of us black people, we get into politics, but we have no idea. A lot of black people are not, a lot of people that I know, it's getting more, education is coming along more, but we need to start understanding the people that are running our government, the things that are inside of our government. We need to learn more. And a person like you come around us, you shake hands, and you're not afraid to interact with the community.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, listen, we're so excited to have you, man.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you something. This man does the hot towel, does the face, does the hair. I mean, this man does it all. And I'm just super excited. Thank you so much for being
thank you for
being one
having
of
me.
our
It's
guests.
an honor to be here.
Prolific
This Urban City
barber.
Magazine?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, I
Urban
made it.
Impact Show.
I'm local. I won a Grammy locally. I'm on Urban City, baby. You know what I'm saying?
That's
for
in
real.
our podcast. This is our first episode, and we are kicking things off the right way.
Wow.
We are the Urban Impact Show, and we're talking to people that are making moves in their community.
That's right.
The work
Yes.
that they're
That's
doing is truly impacting things that are going on. We're talking about community issues. We're
Yes.
talking about politics. Loving on the culture.
Yes.
We are just talking about how we are impacting our
Yes.
community. So we're here at the third annual Come on, Rob, help me. Clash of the Clippers.
Clash of the
Clash
Clippers.
of the Clippers.
Yep.
And something about, Battle of the Salons.
And Battle of the Salons.
And
Yep.
you are here. What does this mean to you to be here? So why did you feel like it was important for you to be here?
Well, this is my third Clash of the Clippers.
All right.
I've participated. I've actually been a judge twice.
Okay.
This is my first time actually competing.
All right.
Big Rob, I'm gonna say one thing about Big Rob. You only have like maybe 4 or 5 award-winning barbers that come out of Iowa. I'm like in number 2, number 3 category. Big Rob was number 1 before I even knew him. I used to watch him from afar. And being in Iowa, you just look for other motivation.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know the man, but I was just watching them.
Yeah.
And I watched his moves. The man ain't perfect, but guess what? It's not about, you have to learn from something, from someone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was a great mold for me to mold myself after I ended up having a fire in one of my barbershops in Cedar Rapids. And upon that, I was just kind of feeling weary and out of it. And, because when you put a barbershop up and you just put your life on the line, I call it putting your love on the corner.
Yeah.
So I needed something new. So the day I came, I just showed up in Des Moines and I held my hands up like this. And I was just like, Big Rob, you got a chair for me? He was like, man, I'm going to have to fire somebody tomorrow.
Hey, but doesn't that speak of the love though, man?
Yeah,
like,
man.
We struggle with, you probably struggled a little bit depressed because you really lost your child, right? You lost something that you had built with your hands.
Exactly.
And you was like, look, and that barbershop was your release.
But if everything happens for a reason, because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have started traveling all around the U.S. doing hair shows. One of the barbers' dreams, every major barber in this building, their dream is to go to Atlanta and win the Brown Brothers hair show. I went to Atlanta, 13 hours. I had $500 in my pocket.
Yeah.
I went to K&G and bought the dude outfit. And guess what? All them big barbers, it took them 3 and 4 and 5 times to win. I win one time, won the whole thing.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? So to tell you how God, and everything was trying to deter me that day from not going.
Look at how God works.
You know what I'm saying? And I only won by 1 point.
Wow.
It's the thing. So that's why I say, and I was looking at something on missed opportunities. So that's what I'm going to dedicate my 2022, not missing no opportunities, because God gives you 2 doors.
Yes.
And you have to take the ladder sometimes, because if you don't take the right door, He's going to send you all the way back down again.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to take advantage of every opportunity I have, and hopefully God can bless me and continue to bless me in abundance. You know?
Oh, that's right. Tell us how you got started in this. I know we were talking a bit earlier. You talked about getting started very young.
Yeah, well, my mom, see, the bad thing is my mom was a teacher in my school. So not only did I have to see my mom at home, I had to see her at school also.
Yeah.
She knew I was a very ambitious kid. I started in 6th grade. She was one of the teachers when the Chicago Public Schools started introducing the computers on the South Side. We were a magnet school.
Okay.
And we were one of the first schools on the South Side to get computers. And all the teachers got to take a brand new IBM computer home. And the first week, I was in 6th grade, the first week, she got the printer, she printed me off some business cards. And it said, haircuts by James the Barber, specializing in fades, froze, and designs, everything $5. I didn't care what you wanted. It was going to be $5. Just get my 6th grade. So not only that, it was my mom. We struggled a lot. We wasn't poor, but we wasn't. We was right there. But I wanted to help my mom with the bills. That was my main thing for cutting hair. And I ended up. My dad was a pastry chef at the Palmer House Hilton in Chicago, Illinois, and I cut his hair one time and. He just started going to work, and his guys at work all the way downtown. We live on 71st Street now, mind you.
Right.
He travels all the way down to Halstead on Van Buren to go to work. And that's the Palmer House is on State Street. That was his other job. But his guys started asking him, "Who cut your hair?" He was like, "My son did that."
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he bringing his guys home, and I'm cutting their hair. Next thing you
charge
know,
$5 though.
no, baby, I really don't charge as much as I need to. See the rappers, and my price going up, but it's all good. God works in mysterious ways. But yeah, man, this cutting hair has been a blessing to me.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to be able to do something you love. And shout out to Reginald Young. That's the guy that motivated me when I was younger. Jamie, you know, these guys taught me the ropes. And my mama thought I was crazy. My first shot was on 79th and Halsted. They call it the Nation, you know.
That's right.
And, you know, a guy, the general over there by the name of Tony Davis gave me my first job. And I wasn't no game banger, but, you know, he just wanted to make sure I wasn't part of the other side. He was like, well, I'm going to give you a job over here. You know what I'm saying? And that just, it went to me cutting hair in Julian High School. And I also played the drums, so I was playing football, playing the drums for money, and cutting hair after school every day.
Well, listen, man, we're super excited to have you. Thank you so much. I'm going to kick it to Shekinah for our last
thank
question.
you, Rob. I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
this is so
bro.
much love,
This
bro.
is
They got a
This is fun.
Bromance.
Listen, if you in Cedar Rapids, Waterloo, Cedar Falls, all of those areas, hit this man up because, look, let me tell y'all, he looked out for me in moment. I would walk in his shop after a week of being on the road and then be like, I just need you to do something. And he would be like, look, he would put me in front of clients with appointments.
Yeah.
You know, like, what barber do you know would do that? Like, you sacrificing the attitude of those who see you all the time, right? Like, and so, no, I appreciate.
And I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
This for everybody in Iowa.
Let's go.
Stop saying that, oh, it's Iowa because of whatever, because of we charging a lower price. Or look, man, we in Des Moines. It's the #1 city in Iowa. Then we got Cedar Rapids is the #2 city in Iowa. We're doing the same thing any other cities in the world are doing. So stop downgrading us and stop, lowballing us, man. And that's in whatever you do, whatever business you have. Stop going to the black business expecting a handout. You know what I'm saying? Treat us accordingly, and we're going to treat y'all right. We know it's a family thing, but we are businessmen first and foremost. And stop looking at Iowa. Y'all go to Chicago and say, oh, man, I paid 50, but I come back to Iowa. Look, you're going to pay that same 50 right here in Iowa. Stop telling me because you came to Iowa, you think it's supposed to cost cheaper. We got the same love, we got the same work, and we giving the same quality around here. That's all I want to say.
And the barbers are just as talented.
It's just as talented. And we just as talented all across the board. We got a great podcast right here. You got a great co-host. You got a great, whatever. Urban City Magazine is going to blow up. Man, I'm telling you, we got a lot of greatness right here. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people, if you've been looking for your auntie, your grandmama, your father, your long-lost uncle, they've been right here in Iowa, 3.5 hours away. You know what I'm saying? If you've been in Chicago, you're looking for your people, they've been right here in Iowa. You know what I'm talking about?
That's right.
For real.
Hey, well, James, thank you so much,
sir.
brother.
Yes.
Hey, listen, thank you so much for tuning
Urban
in.
City, Shekinah Rob. We
tuned
blew
in.
up.
You're tuned in to the Urban Impact Show, sponsored by Urban City Magazine. I'm your boy, Rob Johnson.
Shekinah Young. We are back. We are back. We are at the 3rd annual Clash of the Clippers and Battle of Salons, and we have our next guest here with us. We are super excited. Of course, you are watching the Urban Impact Show. I am one of your hosts, Shekinah Young.
And I am Rob Johnson.
Not paying attention. And we are having a good time today. We're hoping that y'all are having a good time watching and listening to what we have going on. We're talking about who's impacting our community. What are we doing? How can we do better at that and continue forward progress? Today, we have with us Chavez. Did I say that right? Chavez?
Chavez, yes.
Chavez. He is from the heart of it all, Columbus, Ohio.
You already know.
Give it up for Chavez. Thank you for joining us, Chavez.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All the way from the 614.
From the 614.
614.
Okay.
Ohio.
So what brought you here today? Why do you feel that it's important that you come to the 3rd annual Clash of the Clippers and Battle of the Salons? Why is that important for you to be here?
Well, first of all, the reason I'm here is because of Big Rob.
Okay.
That's right.
I met Big Rob back in
09.
2009.
How do you know that?
We just had this conversation.
Yeah, we just had this conversation.
They didn't include me in this
But
conversation.
I was in the Andes barber competition with Big Rob. Let me see if I and over the years, when we was at that competition, we took a picture. I'm gonna see if I can. All right, this picture right here.
Okay.
Y'all might. Okay.
We
I
can
don't
show
know.
I think we can show the people.
Y'all might be able to show.
Let's show the people.
But let me.
Zoom it in a little
But let me give you a little background on that picture right there. We were at the Bronner Brothers show, and we were in the Andes barber competition.
Yes.
And backstage, you know, we take pictures and all that stuff. So we took this epic picture.
Okay.
And then we were like, this is the barber renaissance. We about to change the game. We about to make moves. And y'all, this was before, I'm going to take y'all back.
All right.
This was before MySpace.
Oh.
It's before Facebook and Twitter. This is when email just really got popular.
Okay.
So
You've got mail.
yeah, you've got mail. So we were
AOL.
Dial up.
Dial. So yeah, we it was like a band of brothers.
Yeah.
And so we kept in contact with each other through email and all that stuff. And then Big Rob just started going all over the country and just winning barber competitions. And I have a talk show of my own. It's called In the Barber Zone.
Okay.
And I talk to barbers all over the country about what we're doing in the community, in the barbershop. And kept in contact with Big Rob. And 6-7 years ago, he said, I'm having a show. Will you MC my show?
Yeah.
I came and I MC'd this show.
Nice.
And we've just been like this ever since. So he said, I'm having a show, man, I want you to come.
Okay.
I'm there. You know, my dad passed like 2 years ago, so
Sorry to hear
I
that.
fell back. Thank you. I had to fall back a little bit, and I didn't make the show last year. So I'm here this year supporting Big Rob on the third class of the Clippers, and I'm just happy to be part of it. So,
That's what's up.
So can you tell us a little bit about, I know community is important to you from the
Yes.
conversation that we had.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about, so Columbus, Ohio,
yes.
and you know that's a big city in Ohio.
Top
you know?
10.
And so and so, can you tell us a little bit about the impact that you're making? This show is called the Urban Impact Show,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
And we want to focus a lot of our attention on the impact that we're making in our community, right?
Yes, sir.
Like we all know, and I use the example of LeBron James.
Yeah.
We all know LeBron James, right?
Yes.
But they may not know a barber in Columbus, Ohio, who is really making a difference
Yes.
in those young people's lives. Can you talk about some of the stuff that you're doing in the community?
Yeah. First of all, the reason I'm such a community guy, I'm an Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
You might not know too many brothers that's Eagle Scouts.
Yeah.
I was an Eagle Scout at the age of 16. Right
Wow.
now, I'm 50 years old. So, the community is, you know, the barbershop is the cornerstone of the community.
I love
And
that.
we have to give back to those that support us. So that was my whole thing. And we have to take care of our children.
Yes.
So we take care, you know, I pour into young men all day, every day.
Good.
And that's one thing that I love is being able to touch our future. Being able to mold our future a little bit. But one thing I do, you know, we all do back to school haircuts.
Yep.
Okay. We all do back to school haircuts. But I was thinking that we get this little guy one haircut and we send him on his way. So no, I came up with, for the past 2 years, I've been doing what's called backpacks and belts.
Okay.
So we do a free haircut and we give the young men backpacks, not an empty backpack, but with school supplies.
Yeah.
So you just can't send them with a backpack. You need to send them with some tools for success.
Yes.
And then we also give the young men belts.
All right.
Because, you know, in our community, in our urban community, the pants sagging and all of that in mass media, videos, and whatever media has impacted our youth. So we got to start telling these young men, pull your pants up.
Yeah.
Right.
But you can't have somebody do something if you don't give them the tools to do it.
That's right.
So this past year, I actually linked up with a school, and we had 500 students.
Wow.
Over like 260 were young men.
Yeah.
So we gave them haircuts, we gave them backpacks, and we gave them belts. So, you know, that's just my way. That's my passion of pouring into our community. So, and, you know, we link with Little League football teams and Little League, I'm an old baseball player, Little League baseball teams. And there's a brother at home who's starting stuff golf. I'm a golfer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just got on the amateur.
We golf.
We do
Y'all
go.
golf?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't know we could have got it in. But
Right.
yeah,
I only do 9 though. 18 is a lot.
I agree.
18 is a lot. Listen.
commit to be fit, man. Commit to be fit.
No, I'm not doing 18. I'm doing 9.
No, man.
Can we take a break at 9 and then, you know?
And then
Yeah.
come back and do the
It's called the turn. You go in there, you get you something to eat, use the
Look.
bathroom, you come back out for the nine.
Look, I'm doing the front
That's a
9,
great
not the back
space
9.
to be in, though, because golf
Yeah.
is like a networking
Yes,
sport
it's-
at times.
it is.
Sometimes deals are made on the course.
A lot
and
of
so
them.
you, being a barber, understanding the impact that a barber can have on the community
Yes.
and a barbershop's role in the community
Yes.
can help bridge that gap, you know?
Yes.
You're introducing the kids and also the adults
Yes.
to, hey, this is a cool sport, or here's what can happen in this space.
Exactly.
I think that's really
Because
cool.
we touch a lot of young men, and they say they want to be athletes and basketball players and football players. So I break the numbers down to them.
Right.
I'm like, okay, if you graduate from high school at 18, you go to college for 4 years. If you
Right.
go for 4 years, that's 22. What's the shelf life of an NFL player? 5, 6 years? That
Right.
puts you at 27, 28.
Right.
Okay, the life expectancy of a brother is what? 74, 75?
Yep, 73.
So what you going to do for them other 40 plus years?
Yeah.
So that's what we got to do. We got to give our kids some vision and not just what they're teaching them on TV
That's
and
good.
all of that. Because, in our community, we know that there's a lack of fathers. There's a lot of positive role models now, and our young men and our young women, because as we guide our young men, they're able to guide our young women. So we need to make that impact and make a difference in it. Because if you don't make a difference in this world, what are you doing?
Right.
Yep.
If you don't make it better than what you came in here, what are you doing? I don't care how much hair you cut. I don't care about how much money but what impact, positive impact have you made in your community?
Right.
Well, listen, we thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for
all
having
the
me.
way from Columbus, Ohio.
In the heart of it all.
In the
In
heart of it all.
Yeah, heart
When
of it
are,
all.
you, when are you flying back?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
We leave out tomorrow about 1 o'clock.
About 1?
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. And thank you all for tuning in. We have some more guests. Do not stop tuning in.
Yes.
We have some more guests. We're live from the 3rd annual Clash of the Clippers. Battle of the Salons
Yes.
is coming up. And it's presented by Big Rob and Platinum
Big
Cuts.
Rob.
Urban
Yes.
City Magazine. We are the Urban Impact Show. I am your co-host, Rob Johnson.
Shekinah Young.
And we'll be right back. Thank you all so much. See you soon.
See ya.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
And we are back on the Urban Impact Show. I am one of your hosts, Shekinah Young.
And I'm your boy, Rob Johnson.
Rob getting sleepy, y'all. When the sun starts to go down, he can't bunches with
Now
him.
wait a minute now.
He's just like a vampire, you know. But we are happy to be here with you. We are still at the 3rd annual Clash of the Clippers and Battle of Salons, and that's all brought to us by Big Rob. Everybody knows Big Rob. Locally here, a barber doing big things, creating opportunities for people in the community. So in the Urban Impact Show, we are talking about how communities are being impacted by the work that is going on.
Yes.
And we have a guest here. Her name is Tarita Spicer. Many of you may know her. She is very well known in our community, a true pillar, helping to provide Shy Intimate Apparel. I want to make sure I got the name right. So that is a bra line. It's patent pending. Yes. Custom bra line. Is that right? Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
That's right.
That is y'all. I got it.
Now I'm gonna stay out of the bra conversation, so I'm gonna let y'all talk.
Well, it doesn't even necessarily have to just be a lady conversation, because the way I see this is Tarita is here and with a lot of other vendors that are here, and it's really all about moving the economy, rotating the dollar in the community, and how events like this can have an impact on our community. So though Rob doesn't wear bras or anything like that.
I don't think he does.
Not with no bra. I guess, I'm gonna just lay that alone.
Don't y'all start that rumor.
I'm gonna leave that alone. So tell us how you got into Shy Intimate Apparel and how that started out for you.
Okay, so I started the line in 2014. It was actually an issue that I had trying to find bras to wear with like backless shirts and dresses for years, and I kind of had the idea in the back of my head, but it wasn't until 2014 that I started working with a patent attorney here downtown, and we started the process of just trying to see if there was anything else on the market. We did like a patentability check, so we went through going through the patent process. We have not gotten a patent yet. but we went ahead and just decided to start working on it. So the line itself consists of 3 bras, 3 styles, 3 colors, or something like that.
You know what I love about this?
What?
It's the fact that you did it right.
I know that's right.
Like the fact that you took the right steps to make this happen. Far too often, a lot of our businesses do not survive because of the steps that we take that we don't make it right. Now, if it doesn't make it because of whatever the reason is of just the business itself, but people have to take the right steps to do it right. If you want to do a nonprofit, go to the Secretary of State's office. If you want a patent, go talk to a patent attorney, right?
Yeah.
Like, you took the right steps. You and your husband, y'all took the right steps, and I'm just super glad and excited at the fact that y'all did that. You know,
Thank you.
you know, and that doesn't get enough credit, right? That doesn't get enough the impact of that, because that patent attorney probably hasn't seen an African American female.
They don't work a lot with individuals. The office that I went to that's downtown, they mostly work with corporations. So they're
My
like,
point.
we don't have too many people, like a black female anyway, just a person coming in here. They're like, we deal with corporations. So
Who are doing it right. So thank you
Yeah.
for doing
I
it right.
appreciate
That is an impact, because whether you believe it or not, now you can teach others, like, hey, this is the steps that I took.
Right.
Like, you know, and Shekinah was just talking about multiple streams of income. That's the sexy part, right? I'm trying to get my sexy on.
That is true.
You know what I'm
Sexy,
saying?
multiple streams of income.
Yeah, I'm trying to get
That's
my
real
sexy
life.
on. You know, as a
Not with the bras, just with the income,
as a
right?
single black male with no children, like,
This is a
we
dating
have to.
ad? What is happening
No,
right now?
That was a commercial.
like,
I'm sorry.
That was a
Rob,
little
I'm sorry.
shameless
That's
plug.
hilarious.
I'm sorry. He did plug himself. He did.
He did. It's
Y'all
all
so
good. It's
raw.
okay though.
We understand.
It's okay.
What I'm saying is, it gives people like us who are young professionals who are just doing our thing opportunities. Like, I don't have children, so I have the opportunity to do it right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Right. Kids require a lot, and you did this while, like, all of a
had
sudden,
3 kids.
all of a sudden,
And I was
you was
pregnant.
I was just gonna say, all of a sudden you was pregnant, right?
Old lady with old
And so
kids.
I don't
with a new
have
baby.
I don't have an excuse.
You don't.
Right? I don't have
You
an
don't.
excuse. Like you could have used anything to hold you back.
Yeah.
But you didn't allow it.
Right.
You could have started this line. You didn't have to go to the patent people. You didn't have to do it, right? You could have got this and started selling bras out your house.
What keeps you motivated to do that? Because you mentioned 2014.
Yeah.
And we said patent pending. So this
Right.
isn't a microwave situation.
Right, the process.
It's 2019, creeping up on 2020.
Right. When you say it
still
like that, I'm
going.
like, really? Has it been that long? Yeah. So my line is named after my brother. My idea when I first launched the business was like, I really wanted to get enough money to where I could help my mom not work and help take care of my brother. But my brother passed away like a couple
Sorry
months
to hear
after we
that.
started the process. So it's named after him. And what has motivated me to keep going is my kids. Like my daughter, she's a hustler, and I want to, like my son, my oldest one, he's 19, and I'm just like really trying to instill in them, like, you don't have to do what everybody else does when you graduate high
Very
school.
true.
Like there's a million different things that you can do. You want to go to college, that's great, but like you can have hustles while you're in college and still get money. So I mean, I'm just motivated by them, and I'm just motivated by my own strength. Like, I'm learning that I can do things that I never thought I could do before. So I'm just like really working hard on myself and
That is
trying
huge.
to. Yeah.
It is huge.
One thing that I really like about what I'm seeing here at the 3rd annual Clash of the Clippers is that it's not just cosmetologists, it's not just barbers that are here. They're complementary services. I saw a lash line.
Yep.
I see the beard gang men across the way from us.
Right. That's
you
some
are
nice
here
stuff
with
over
the
there.
shy, intimate
Over there.
apparel. Yes, and so it all comes together to help us feel better. We present
It
ourselves
does.
better, you look better, you feel better, you perform better. The economy is rolling. I think that is such a beautiful thing to have such the entrepreneur spirit
Yes.
here. I think that's really cool. Can you speak to that, or a lot of the other booths that are there, or?
I think it's awesome to see all of these businesses, and then I see a lot of young people that are at the show, and my 15-year-old is here, and so I'm like walking around with her, like, you see all these different businesses, you see how all these different people are making money doing things that they love and enjoy. So I think that this is awesome for the young people, especially in Des Moines, not just minority kids, but
I know
just
that's right.
all kids.
That's
Like, you don't have to wait for yourself to graduate high school or graduate college and get this dream job or this perfect
Right.
job, because a lot of times that doesn't really exist. But you can make money a million different ways and still do other things at the same time. So it's inspiring.
That's a consistent thread that we've been hearing through all of our interviews with a lot of the barbers or the stylists or the cars bars is they started doing this when they were in 6th grade, when they were 10 years old, when they were 12 years old. And imagine the economic mobility that you can have, your ability to earn more money if you start working at that age, you know, when you don't have real bills per se, you know? That's really cool. So it's really nice to see all this come together.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much for being willing to come on this show.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited for you
It was
guys.
kind of like thrown, like, you know, like, hey.
I literally just got back. I just
show.
landed like 2-3 hours ago. I was in New York Fashion Week. I wasn't in it. Let me take that back. A friend of mine had a show, and so I was there to support him, and then I was also trying to make connections while I was there. So I literally just got back.
Doing it right. So, can you tell the people where they can buy your stuff?
Thank you.
How to connect with you.
It's Shy Intimate Apparel, and that's SHY IntimateApparel.com is the website. It's Shy Intimate Apparel LLC on Facebook, and it's Shy Intimate on Instagram.
Okay, you go. Shy Intimate. You heard it from her. First, we are the Urban Impact Show. I'm one of your co-hosts, Shekinah Young.
And I'm Rob Johnson.
And you hold on right there. I think we got another interview.
We have one more coming up.
One more. We'll be back.
We're back. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us.
Yes.
You know, this is our first time, and I'm super excited for the Urban Impact Show brought to you by Urban City Magazine. I am one of your co-hosts, Rob Johnson.
Shekinah Young.
And we're sitting here with a very special guest. I mean, this woman is so this show is called the Urban Impact.
Right.
Talk about urban impact is definitely Miss Pam Williams.
All right, Miss Pam.
She has definitely started the Isis-Arettes, which has been around for how long?
39 years.
For 39 years, children have come through the Urban Impact Show. So, have come through the Isis-Arettes, and so welcome to the Urban Impact Show. Thank you so much for being here. We're just going to ask you a couple questions, and then we're going to go from there. Is that all right?
Okay. First, can I say this?
Yes, go ahead.
We will be celebrating our 40th anniversary June 20th of 2020.
Okay.
At Wells Fargo Arena, so save the date.
Okay.
June, you guys, now, are we the first show that you've released that information on?
Yes.
Woo!
Exclusive.
Exclusive right here. Exclusive right here. Urban Impact Show. We are the first to release this information that the Isis-Arettes will be celebrating their 40th anniversary June 20th of 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
We will be ready for that.
We will be. As a matter of fact, we should do the show from there.
We should.
Absolutely.
We should do the show
We
from
should
there.
knock that out.
I agree with that.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, one thing, Miss Pam, I don't think I've ever told you this. So, Rob and I are both from Chicago. Whoop, whoop, go Chicago. And we didn't even meet until we came to Drake. And so I came to Drake from Chicago. I had never visited Drake. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go there. It's great. Sign on dotted line, I'm coming. So I get to Drake, and the neighborhood that I grew up in was predominantly Black and Latino people there. And I was not used to the kind of environment that was there at Drake. I appreciate that environment. It has taught me how to move in different circles, but I wasn't used to that. And so I get to Drake, and I was very uneasy about being uncomfortable in this environment. And then we went to the NAP Center, and the Isis-Arettes came in. And the Isis-Arettes, for all of you that don't know, is a drum and drill corps here in Iowa. They have done shows for President Barack Obama, 44th president, and just all over the country doing great things. But to me, as a freshman in a new place who wasn't sure of the environment or the surroundings or how I fit in there or what was my place, those 50 boys and girls stumping up and down and drumming and drilling, I was like, yes, I can do this. I am
There
here.
are Black people in Iowa.
Well, yes, I did see that, but I was just like, okay, this is super cool. I felt like I fit in that community because I saw how that works. So I think sometimes we can have even greater impacts than we may know. And you think, okay, we're just keeping the kids busy and out of trouble. And it's so much more than that, though. It represents something to other people that are viewing them too. And I just wanted you to know that your work goes far beyond the children that are there, but impacts the other community members, and even some new folks stepping onto Drake's campus that may be a little concerned.
And we're still doing Drake New Student.
I know that's right.
Every year.
You got to.
Something we've done for years.
So, Miss Pam, can you tell us what keeps you coming back for these last 39 years?
Well, I would say the need. There's a lot of us out here working with young people, but my philosophy is if I only have them for a year, I need to be teaching them to live the right way to go. That getting your education is the way to go.
Yeah.
Staying out of the courts, all those kind of things. So, ISIS arrests is much more than a drug team.
Yes.
Amen.
That's probably things that people don't know, all the things that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teaching them discipline, teaching them, all different life skills.
All of that, and then some.
Talk to us a little bit about the opportunities that the youth have gotten as they've been a part of the ISIS arrests.
I think one of the major things that we're trying to do is to get these kids outside of Iowa, so they can see what else is going on in the world. There's opportunities out there to get out there to see the things that we don't have major athletic teams and that kind
NBA,
of stuff here. So we've done the playoffs. We've gone to Denver, had a great relationship with the Denver Nuggets. So it's reaching out beyond our community to allow them to dream.
Yeah.
To allow them to dream to do bigger and better things.
So, final thing, before we let you get back to enjoying the show, tell me if you could leave our viewers with one thing that you would want them to know about the ISIS arrests. Just one thing or one piece of advice that you would give some type of young person as you impact this community. What would it be?
I think to grow up, to give back. To give back to the community, pull somebody along. When you make it, you come back, you give back. I think that's one of the major things with the ISIS arrests. All my instructors or alumni who have gone to college, come back after college, married, have children or mothers now that are back to see that this dream continues.
Amen.
That's good.
Well, hey, Miss Peyton Williams, thank you so much for being our guest. This is our first show.
Yes.
And the fact that you just dropped some exclusive information on this show is great. You could only get that right here at the Urban City Magazine on the Urban Impact Show.
Only.
So we thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
Don't go anywhere. We're actually going to be taking a break from our live right now, and we're going to go watch this hair show. We're right here at Perry Meadows Casino for the 3rd annual Clash of the Clippers Expo, and it's getting ready to go down for the Battle of the Salons.
And the ISIS arrests are a part
of the hair show. And the ISIS arrests are a part of the hair show. If you still have time, get here, come hang out with us. We thank you all for tuning in.
So much.
I'm one of your co-hosts, Rob Johnson.
Shekinah Young.
We thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
See ya. Thank you so much.